already live on YouTube. So some people will be joining us from YouTube, while some of us we are here. Just some a little bit of housekeeping. This session is supposed to be an between 50 to an hour session, and there won't be breaks, but yeah, please get your pen, your bio, and your jotter, to jot down however you want. And you can please make use of the chat button. Also, we'll be having like an extended 20 to 30 minutes lecture from our guest, Pakinam Fawal. And of course, we would have, some time to ask questions. I'm going to be asking her some questions based on our conversation and the subject matter. And of course, we would be having you all in the call, asking questions. Of course, we are in different time zone. It's bright, very bright, where Pakinam Fawal is joining us from. She's joining us, from Los Angeles, right? Yes, at the US. So it's around 10 a.m. at her side, right? 10 or 11.
It is 11:14 a.m. here.
Yeah, 11:14 a.m. and it's 7:14 p.m. here at Nigeria, West Africa, where I am joining us from. And of course, please do well to make use of the chat box. Of course, for us joining on the Zoom, please feel free to unmute your mic and even turn on your video so we can, make this conversation, very conversational, because you are going to be asking questions. So if you want to ask questions, it will be nice that we have your, your videos open. Also, for us to know, this session is being recorded, and so all of the things you are saying is being streamed. So, but of course, you should feel free to express, and let's get into this conversation, deep dive, and just by the way of introduction, the company powering this is the Intellect Quest company, known as the IQ company. And of course, I am the founder and chief knowledge officer of the company. And so what we do at the Intellect Quest company is everything equals to knowledge. So, we are into knowledge development, personal development, leadership development, and, all of that. And of course, what the word IQ means, literally it means intelligent quotient or intellectual, quotient. And so we are the Intellect Quest company. We are on a quest to, increasing our intellectual, because when we get better in our mind, in our, and art, we become better in the things that we do and how we apply ourselves to all we do. So yes, wherever you are joining us from, this is a global outfit. So get ready, to be blessed. And of course, we'll be having this maybe monthly, as time permits us. And of course, we'll be bringing guests from around the world. So yes, this is something you really want to be part of. And the technical team will be sharing the link to the community in the group chat. So look forward to that. So you can join the IQ community. Yes, nobody wants to, miss joining the IQ community. So of course, do well to join that. And we will be getting to it right away. All right, to tell us about Glofluence, how it came about. It's a thought and, more like a desire to have a room, that has people from multiple backgrounds, multiple culture, regardless of our religion, regardless of our cultural upbringing and all of that, and be in a room and just have conversation with ourselves. That is the whole idea of, the global influence conversation. And I mean, to make it more adoptable and more friendly to people around the world, we had to coin a word, and the word is Glofluence. So whenever you hear Glofluence, just know we are talking about the global influence conversation. So and of course, on the bottom line of this and the foundation of this is that as we say, yesterday was local. We've been, talking about local. You have to be local and make, have local relevance. And in the last few decades, or about a decade or two ago, we've been talking about, global. The conversation about has been about global, and even the, pandemic, gave us and more like an open door to getting into that space where we are all thinking global. But I have something to tell us all. If you have been relating with the advert, it won't be new to you, and that is that the world is becoming galactical. It's already happening. It's not a joke. To give you this in just a bit of light to whatever it is you could know. I believe we know who Elon Musk is. That guy isn't thinking about just planet Earth again. He's now thinking about how to conquer, the world. And, some of those guys, that play in that space with, huge respect, and, me following them and looking for updates, from them. So yes, we'll be bringing in, speakers from around the world, to join us. Even there will be in coming time, there will be speakers from Tesla, Elon Musk's company. So yes, you want to really get into these and plug into the intellect quest community, the IQ community. All right. And of course, what we'll be talking about today is going global, credential versus potential. Our guest Pakinam Fawal is ready to take us deep dive into it in a lecture session, and we will be asking our questions soon. So ladies and gentlemen, without further speaking, I welcome you to the global influence conversation. No, let me take that again. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the first, inaugural lecture of the Global Influence Conference conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Pakinam Fawal.
Thank you, Adura.
Thank you.
Would you like me to get started?
Yes, please. Feel free and get started.
Of course. I'm going to share my screen with you all.
Okay.
And I want to say good morning to those who are in the United States. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are in the world. It is such an honor to be here with you all today at this first Glofluence conversation, as Prayer mentioned. So let's imagine something together. What if starting tomorrow, every single degree, every certificate, every job title on your resume disappeared? No one could see your credential. What would you still have to stand on? What would still make people listen to you, trust you, or follow you? So what matters most? Is it credential or potential? So I am really not here to say that credentials do not matter. Absolutely not. Credentials definitely matters, and they are the formal proof of expertise. These are the degrees, the certifications, our years of experience. They are valuable. They prove our skills. They open doors. They give us access to leadership roles. They give us credibility in rooms that we may not otherwise enter. But the world is changing too quickly. Prayer, Adura just mentioned, our world is changing exponentially quick. For credentials alone to carry us, it's not gonna work. So the diploma you framed, the certifications you earn, those are snapshots in time. They prove that you once knew, but potential is alive. It grows, it stretches, it adapts to whatever tomorrow's demands of us. Potential is your capacity to lead, to create, to innovate in the future. And it is not what you have already done, it's what you can become. And the danger becomes when people stop at one of them. So stopping at credential, chasing credential, and forget to cultivate your potential. Never take action to validate it. The truth is, it is really a full circle. You discover your potential, you cultivate it, you validate it with credential, and that expands your potential. And remember, I said it's a full circle. It's not a destination. It is a journey. You keep doing it again and again. So if we really want to keep growing in this new world, we need more than credential. We need the courage to embrace change, the curiosity to keep learning, and the resilience to step into the unknown again and again. And that's not theory. It's been the story of my life. So let me give you a little bit of me right now. I have a degree in computer science. Sounds impressive, right? Except I never worked a single day as a developer. Instead, I became a teacher and a computer science. I became a math and computer science teacher. And while I was not coding, I was still learning. I developed leadership skills. I learned how to engage with young minds, communicate with parents, collaborate with colleagues. I learned how to organize chaos. And if you ever taught teenagers, you know exactly what I mean. I grew into the coordinator role. Life felt stable. I had the credential, the role. That's my future. Or so I thought. I was, at the time, I was married with 2 boys. Life looked really good. And then on a Wednesday evening, on June 20th, 2007, my husband suffered a brain aneurysm. And just like that, I lost him forever. Suddenly, I became a widow and a single mother of 2 young boys. One income wasn't enough, so I started teaching private lessons to sustain us. At the same time, I was facing cultural expectations, telling me how should I live, how I should wear, what I should settle for. But I refused to let my life be dictated by beliefs that didn't make sense to me. Then,
Oh, yes, you can go ahead. We just wanted to see your face.
say that again?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can still see me, right?
Yes, we can
Yeah.
stay.
All right. So, so with those cultural expectations that did not sit well with me, I I I challenged them. I refused to let this be my life. Then came a new chapter. I met someone amazing, the man who is now my husband. But love came with a decision. To be with him, I had to leave behind my life, my job, and everything that I had built for over 13 years. I migrated with my boys to California. And guess what? My teaching career, my degree, my experience, those credentials did not carry much weight. So I started over from zero. I leaned on my potential, my curiosity, my resilience, my willingness to learn. So I applied to an entry-level job. A few months in, my boss pulled me aside and said, Paki, you'd make a great project manager. And I thought, project manager? The idea had never occurred to me. But someone else saw that potential in me, and she was at the time the product owner. I'd better listen. That one observation of her and her telling me this changed really the trajectory of my career. So I took on small projects, then bigger ones, and I asked for more responsibility. I kept learning, and eventually I formalized it. I went to UCLA for project management. I earned my certification, and I got my green belt Lean Six Sigma, then my project management professional. And today, I stand here as a senior project manager in a global company. But here's the key. It was not my credential that got me here. It was my potential, my willingness to learn, to adapt, and to step back in order to step forward. I chose to pair my potential with credentials to validate the growth I earned. So what's the big idea here? Credentials validate us, but potentials sustain us. Credentials can expire. Industries can collapse. See, look at the job market right now. Jobs are disappearing. Right now, artificial intelligence is reshaping entire fields. Tomorrow, many roles we know today may not even exist. So what happens if our title disappears? If the role we built, our identity, that what we build our identity around no longer exists. Our credential may fade, but no one can take away our potential. Each one of you here in this room have potential. It's our mindset. It's our ability to grow, our courage to reinvent ourselves. So I'd like each one of you to take 1 minute right now. Write down one area where you want to grow your potential for the next 30 days. And what is one action you can take today to start? So I'll repeat it. What is one area you want to grow your potential in the next 30 days? And what is one action you can take today to start? I see Rarid in the chat, negotiation skills and teaching. And Rarid, what is one step that you can take today to start achieving this goal, or to work on this? I see Bash, my patience. Learn online first, right? Public speaking, Rosie. Another public speaking. And what is one step you would do towards that skill? Dive into AI marketing, taking online workshops to update my skills. That is courage. That is embracing change, Mirai. Thank you so much for engaging in the chat. Jim, and one step is to organize time. Paddy. Take courses related to public speaking. That's one step towards the goal. Make my team collaborate more. More steps to take. Start asking them one by one how we can improve as a team. And managing skills. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for engaging in the chat. See now what happened. All of you started thinking about that one thing you wanted to work towards, and here's another dimension of this conversation. In the past, our influence was local. Today, it is global. And tomorrow, as Prayer mentioned, it's galactic. So with one post, one talk, like today's talk, one idea, you can touch millions of lives across continents. Think about this for a minute. I'm here in the United States sharing my story. Some of you are in different states in the United States. Some are in Ghana, in Asia, in Lebanon, in Canada, all over the world. So through technology, we are shaping each other's thoughts in real time. And when we speak, when we share our words, those ideas travel beyond borders, beyond cultures and continents. That is power. It is real power. But with this power comes responsibility. Because wasted potential doesn't just affect you, it affects the value you could have given to others. And the reason I'm saying this, because, for example, right now, I'm here as your guest speaker. But if I don't research, if I don't prepare and share credible knowledge, my potential is wasted. And wasted potential at a global scale, that is dangerous. So we said it is power that we are sharing our ideas globally, but is at the same time very dangerous, because influence without value is just noise. And there is already too much noise in this world. So our responsibility is not just to grow, but to use our potential wisely, and most importantly, add value. Leave the people better than you found them. Add value to everyone around you. And I hope today I added value to you. So I promised you in my video that I will be giving you practical steps. So let me leave you with 4 essential steps that you can act on today. We touched a little bit upon some of these. So the first one is embrace change. We said our world is changing exponentially. Growth requires movement. Embracing change is the prerequisite of growth. We cannot grow if we don't change. So if nothing changes, nothing grows. Number 2, surround yourself with growing people, with the right people. If you are the smartest person in the room, find a new room. 3, believe in yourself. Believe and invest in yourself. So the value you place in yourself determines how much you will invest in yourself. Because if you don't invest in yourself, why would anyone else do? Number 4, fall in love with learning. And so what I mean by that is we want to practice layered learning, building those blocks. Learn a little bit and apply a little bit. Reflect and then repeat. It's not a goal, it's not a destination. It's really the journey. It's not where I'm gonna when I'm gonna get there. It's how far I can go. So don't just collect credentials, collect growth, collect experiences, collect the lessons that come with failures, resilience, and courage. Because your ability to embrace change and learn and reinvent yourself and to influence others responsibly, that will always remain in you, no matter what, no matter when, if the titles vanishes over time, if title vanish, oh my God, if your titles vanish over time, etc. So when you lean on your potential, you don't just adapt to change, you even create that change. So with that, I want to help answer any of the questions that you may have. And I also want to ask one question to you all. First, I really hope that I added a value to you. And I want to ask, if you were to share one takeaway from today with someone else, what would it be?
That was amazing. I know you're still speaking, but yes, people are in the chat box, and someone say trust and value yourself. Yes, trust and value yourself. Someone say great presentation, consistency. The chat box is just popping up. Some people are still putting in their skills. Someone said, believe more in myself. Yes, the list keeps going. Yeah.
We have Sarah having her hand up.
Yeah. You can go ahead now. You're being spotlighted.
Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Becky. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for joining. And I love that you have your camera on so we can have a more engaged conversation.
Well, you know what? When you started your seminar by asking the question about when you lose all your credentials, what you'll have left, the only answer that came to my mind is like my values, you know? And then I was thinking the whole time, what's the link between my values and my potentials? And through your talk, when you were sharing your experience, are you listening or?
We are listening to you.
So when you shared your experience, how you changed your life and how you were like you were faced with new challenges and new courses, and you when you had opportunity came up to you and you embraced it, I was like, okay, this is potential, but where is my potential when I lose all my credentials? And then I got the answer when I heard your talk. Well, my values will help me discover my potential and will keep me going, as you said, to reach my credentials so I cannot be a danger to the society. Because whenever you discover a potential, and we see it all the time as moms, as business owners, as employers, uh, if you have potential but you don't like keep it up with the credentials, you are a menace to the society, yes, because you give information, you share, and maybe you share the wrong information. But if you have the right values, you can reach the potential to 100%. So hearing your list, I would like to ask, to add one thing, saying that maybe you need to also embrace yourself and practice empathy and acceptance toward yourself. Because every time you practice patient empathy or acceptance towards your values or towards yourselves, you take your time, and then if you fail, you can try again because you know you have the potential. It's just a matter of time. And what
So
you added to me,
go
excuse
ahead.
me. So what you added to me after hearing you, something very important, and I'm going to keep it in my mind. I will never, ever let my credential define me, because the credentials are something that I'm proud of. But you know what? We make the credentials, and you're right. And I will never let go of my credentials because I will never take the responsibility to talk without knowledge. So thank you so much for sharing with us something as personal and for giving us the keys to continue our journey in our professional and personal life, Becky. It was very interesting listening to you and looking forward to listen for you more.
Wow, thank you so much, Sarah. It was a great conversation. I loved also listening and hearing your perspective of what you heard me saying. I love that you said that failure is okay, and give yourself hug yourself a little bit. Don't let the learning, your love of learning, overcome the fear of failure. It's okay
Exactly.
to fail.
Exactly.
So we're here, and I'm trying and I'm failing, and I'm trying and I'm failing, and I'm trying and I'm failing. So I need to try, fail, reflect, change something, and then try again. And that's how we
Exactly.
keep growing
Exactly.
and learning.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm in my 40s, and what I'm facing is like two categories of people, like people who are defining themselves by their credential and people who are like going through life with this courage and like I have ideas, I have this new idea or this new theory or this new business idea, and they are running through life. And I'm like, okay, this is good, but you don't have all the credential. You said it, like when you wanted to be a coach or when you wanted to be a project leader, you went and you took the course. It's very rare what I'm seeing around me. And on the second hand, I'm facing people like they have the credential and they don't want to change. They are like, I'm here, I'm not ready to learn, I'm not ready to change, I'm this person. And so you, by listening to you, maybe you are approaching two words and you are talking about teenagers. Maybe you're approaching the word of parents and teenagers. The next time when you're going to talk, I'm going to invite my kids because I think you are the middle between the two worlds now. I don't want to say clashing together, but we have difficulty communicating together.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I mean, their ideas are absolutely valid.
exactly.
So if we reverse, so we lived in worlds that credentials, like in my culture, we had two really boxes to tick. Either women becoming teachers, men doctors and engineers, and we needed those titles. Now things are changing. Our kids are tapping into their potential, and then once they find their passion and have their potential figured out, they are pairing it with credentials. There's nothing wrong in either way. Sometimes it's we don't realize what our potential is early enough. So we go with the
Exactly.
traditional way. But if we are able to know what our passion is at a younger age, then pairing it with those credentials is the way to go. And again, the world is changing. We might need to forget about everything we had and then start over again. And that's what I'm really asking everyone here and in the world to embrace the love of learning. Fall in love with the journey, not the destination. And I have Mirai, so thank
Very
you
well
so
said.
much.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah. Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very well said. Have a good
Thank you
day,
very
everyone.
much, Sarah. Thank you. And Mirai, you have your hand up. Mirai,
Yes.
I wanna say thank you so much for joining. Mirai, you're joining from Canada.
My pleasure, Pakinam. I really admire your resistance and your grit. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Honestly, on the personal level, on the career level, you really pushed through your way, and you were smart about it. So, taking the opportunity, putting together, going, seeking the education part and the credential part as well. That's super smart, honestly. And I would say that I've worked in the higher education here in Toronto, and I can tell you that many of the students who graduate from programs, they might take different path and they might go because they find themselves. So it's not easy to find yourself what you like. You finish high school and you don't really know more than math and English and biology, whatever, and then you have to go into engineering or go to a job that you don't know the details, didn't test yourself in that, and then you wake up one day and say, is it really me or not? So this is where we always encourage people, as you said, and I really love what you're saying, that you really need to look for a good fit in terms of what's your potential, what you really enjoy in life, and push always to definitely back it up with the good credentials, because this will be your weapon, as we say in Arabic, or your this will help you go further in your career. So thank you so much, Pakinam. Very inspiring presentation, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Mirai. I really enjoyed your uh, feedback, and thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for turning on your camera and engaging with us. This is great. Thank you.
My pleasure. Take care.
All right.
All right, Lady Pakinam. I do have some questions here for you, and these are thought-provoking questions. I mean, you've in a way answered some of them, but to be more specific, I would ask you this very particular one, even though you've touched very much about it. But yes, I would like to ask you, in your journey, have there been moments where your potential opened doors that credential could not? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it still does till today. And I think it is also going to be the future. As I mentioned, my background is in computer science. It absolutely helps the way I think about right now, my projects. It helps me understand where the developers come from. It helps me understand the IT department, how they work. But it's really my potential that helped me be in those rooms today. I never imagined I'm going to be a project manager. But when somebody saw that potential in me and I experienced it, I really liked it. I don't want to take away anything from Credential because they really matter. And that's why I decided to prove the skills that I learned, the potential that I had that helped me carve that path. I decided to earn the degrees that proves those skills. So wow. The short answer to your question, absolutely yes.
Wow, wow, good to know. Good to know. There is, another one here, and this is for someone, who maybe are trying to balance, formal education and cultivating their inner potential. So the question goes this way: how can an individual balance their formal education and cultivating their inner potential?
Thank you for this question. Credential and potential are not opposite directions. They're actually come together. So what you're saying, balancing the credential and potential, it's not really an opposing forces. They're not opposing forces unless you are really going to a credential that's totally different than what your passion is. But at the same time, it's not, there's no one size that fit all. You're gonna sit with yourself, you're gonna know yourself, and also you can ask other people for feedback of what do you see in me, what do you see my potential is. Sometimes we really don't know and we need that little spark from someone. Collect those ideas, sit with yourself, reflect, and it's never too late to learn something new. So wherever you are in the path, try to pair both your potential with credentials.
Wow. That was amazing. I mean, I believe you are jotting down, and of course, if you have a question, please do well to ask. Yes, still ask. We can still take some few live audiences. But yes, I have this question for you, and this is the global influence conversation, and I would like, Gordon, please. I would like to ask you this very question. Because of the subject matter, going global, and the question is just simple. It's, what does global influence means to you personally?
Oh, to me, global influence means the big word responsibility. It is a big responsibility when we are posting things to the global community. I said that there's noise around us, and you really this is something I struggle with my daughter right now, about the easy access to all the noise that's available on the internet and around us, swiping little shorts. Anyone, anywhere in the world, regardless of their background, regardless of the research that they've made, they can post something and they can influence people. And those who are the little minds are the most prone to those to get influenced by what they see. So it is a big responsibility when we want to share something. It is a big responsibility when we say we're influencing globally.
Oh yes, oh yes. Thank you for that. I mean, it's really a big responsibility. I have, another question here, and yes, please, wait your hand if at all, you have a question, and of course, you can, put in, your chats, your question, in the chat box. I see, Bash Fawal. I guess that is your son. He said never give up. So yes, never give up. And yes, the question goes this way. In a world obsessed with titles and status, how can people without big credential still build influence? So how can people who have, maybe they are not opportune, due to whatever reason, they are not able to attend, formal education and institution, how can they really build influence and, make themselves reputable,
Yeah, that is a really good question. Yeah, some people don't have, you mentioned the means or the financial capabilities, I mean, to maybe earn credentials. However, we just said we live in a world that is global, and we have access to unlimited amount of information and knowledge. So by being intentional of what we learn, what we are reading, we can collect all these information without the formal credentials. And when you start learning step by step, it's not like a buffet of learning, and then we end up with all the learnings around us, but we never practiced anything. That's not how it works, because when we grab all the food from the buffet, we end up not eating any. So learn a little bit and do a little bit. So when you have access to all this information, be intentional of what you want to learn a little bit, and then do a little bit, and keep building those blocks. You will get there. You will, by embracing the learning, by falling in love with the journey, you will get there. You can think it's a mindset, how far I can go.
Awesome. As you're speaking, I was just thinking about a phrase that I, always talk about, and this will, bring me to the question, about the fact that some people are literally waiting for, something spectacular to happen in their life to move them to their next level. And as I and some, global thought leader, say, your next level is not outside your reach. Your next level is not in the hand of your adversary. Your next level is not in the hand of, somebody that is against you. Your next level is not in the hand of either that boss, that colleague, or that, supervisor, or whoever the person is that, you see hates you. Your next level is right at your hand. Your next level, it's, at your reach. Your next level, it's, it's not far from you, is what you can easily access. And so this brings me to the question, how can people practically spotlight the opportunities within and around them, without giving excuses and and just there's a knowledge gap in people knowing what to do. And that is where this question is: how can people really spot opportunities around them? Over to you.
If you're not, you have a basket when you are moving in this world. As you're moving, you're putting stuff in your basket. You're adding knowledge to your box of knowledge. And as you're going, opportunities will come, and you are ready because you equipped yourself with the knowledge needed to grab that opportunity. So when you're saying there is a gap, what most people don't realize is that they're waiting for the opportunity. I would say you can make the opportunity, because once you are making yourself ready, the opportunity will come. It is there. And I do want to answer a question. It's kind of tapping into this a conversation as well. A question from Faith in the chat. How can one activate the potential that's inside, but due to environmental factors could not get it activated? That question reminded me of the cultural expectations that I had when I lost my husband, and I was expected to wear certain things, to behave certain way, etc. I would say, Faith, you challenge what does not work for you, and very importantly, surround yourself with the right people. The people who are around you will uplift you or will do the opposite. So if surround yourself with the right people, the right mindset people who will help you and you help them rise together. I want to mention one of the attendees here. She's my cousin and one of my best friends. Her name is Malak. She is the one who also, I wrote a chapter in a book and I mentioned her as well. She is the one who, when I was feeling down at the time, she and her sister and the family was the escape for me from all the environmental factors and the cultural expectations. So I chose, at times, I was every single weekend driving 2.5 hours from my town to the city where she used to live to spend time, because this is when I felt uplifted. So surround yourself with the right people, and you will absolutely grow. Faith, if you can unmute yourself and ask more questions if you want, or if you can tell me if I answered your question.
Pakinam, there is also one idea here. People can escape to social responsibility. They can see their surrounding, where they can involve more in social responsibility, and this is a good way to escape or discover opportunities and discover more connections with different kind of people.
Absolutely. I wasn't able to see.
Oh yes, his video is not turned on. That's why we couldn't spotlight him.
All right.
Yeah.
Paddy, that was Paddy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He has his video
Hello.
now.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Hi, Paddy.
Hi.
All right. So yeah, thank you so much for adding your comment. It is absolutely true as well. And, you know, each one of us, from our conversation, each one of us will have, they connect to what we're saying differently based on our own experiences. I'm really, really glad that by sharing our thoughts, we're really connecting with you as as audience, and some of the ideas felt special to you. So thank you.
Oh, great, 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 great. I mean, I believe we all in here, you know, we've been having a good time, you know, listening to all of this wisdom by Pakinam Fawal. As we, you know, round up, we have maybe about 10 minutes more to be on this call. I would ask a question. And this question is centered around self-development. I mean, we are in, a global connected world. And what that, means is that you don't have to be in Los Angeles, to connect with Pakinam Fawal. I mean, I connected with her, through my last event, the IQ retreat, powered by the Intellect Quest company. So I do not need to be, there literally to be around her, to connect with her. And even me connecting with her, it was one of the guests, from Dubai that brought her into the retreat. So this is talking about relationship, how people should build connection to the next level, to get to the next level. And of course we'll be bringing in much more speakers from different countries. In fact, the first 10 of this episode would be a non-African. That's what the ideology is. And I'm going to be connecting with all these people through digitally, some through referrals, some my friends in the institutions that we've met, and all of it. So please tell us how critical is relationship is. I mean, we know it is, but we want you to tell us how important it is for us to prioritize relationship, and how we can navigate relationship, most importantly in this global and leading to the new civilization galactica world. Yes.
Yeah. Relationships in today's world, I want to call them connections. It is extremely important to connect really with people. And when I'm saying connect, it's not knowing. It's not a person that I know. It's I'm connecting with this person at a personal level. I'm having this connection with the person. And what let me tell you a story that happened with me about connections. So as I mentioned, I was a teacher in Lebanon, right? And then life happens, and I moved to the United States, and I wanted to become a project manager, and I applied to project management. And guess what? There are some people in the waiting room. Okay. All right. I hope I admitted them. Okay. So and I moved to the United States, and I wanted to become a project manager after, I thought I'm good at it. I applied to the company that I'm working at right now. And it's this global connection. one of my former students was working at this company. And because we kept that connection, he was able to refer me, and that's how I'm here. Now, did I know that I'm going to use that connection and he's going to be my door opening to this position? No, I did not. But so your question, Prayer, on how we can build the relationship, be authentic to yourself. Be true to yourself with the connections. And at the same time, I always say you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So choose your close connections carefully, because those are the people who will help, who are true to you, who will let you know what you should work on, who can spot your strength so you can reinforce them and grow. I mean, in today's world, especially with the virtual world, sometimes we feel disconnected, but disconnected because we are away from each other, but at the same time connected because of the technology. So it's a choice. You make the best of it. You choose your how you want to make your connections meaningful.
Wow. Awesome. I mean, you choose how, you are going to make your connection, useful and even meaningful, So yes, I mean, all of these cannot be overemphasized. They are basics principle, but there is something about knowledge. When you don't know it, you don't know it.
Yeah.
It's not what you can pretend to know. I mean, I've seen some people try to pretend to know something, but by the time you see the results, you will know that this person doesn't really know or does not know as much as he or she projects to know. And I mean, that is why, we have this conversation, to be able to bridge that knowledge gap for people to come in and learn your ideas, to influence them and, just make them become better, because there's a saying that says, when you know better, you do better. When we all know better, we all will definitely do better. And just before we round up, I have this question for you. Looking forward, ahead, what kind of leader do you think will shape the next level of civilization? I mean, we've seen different revolutions, even before the First World War, up to now, we've seen different kind of civilization. There was, a civilization whereby people were using writing, having a paper or a jotter, was a miracle, because it takes a lot to produce. But in this new civilization, what is that, what are those values, or what are those things you think leaders need to know, to really rule and really have influence, within this civilization?
Yeah. Thank you, Adura. Before I answer your question, I want to tap into what you just said about knowledge. And when you said, when you know better, you do better. I want to say, I'm a member of the Maxwell leadership team, and John Maxwell always says, you don't know what you don't know, and when you know what you don't know, you know how much you don't know. So the more we know, the more we realize that there are things we don't know. It's a journey It's not a destination. So that was one. The second, to answer your question, is what kind of leaders we want in this world. So in today's world, I want to say leaders are needed more than ever. But the kind of leaders we really need is the servant leader, the leader who serves others. It's not the leader who tell other what to do. If you are a great leader, people will follow you. If you're leading and nobody's following, you're just taking a walk. You think you're leading, you're not. So add value to the people around you without thinking that you are leading. Just do you have anything that you can give? Do you have anything you can add to people? Your knowledge is power. Sharing knowledge is leading. So what we really want in this world is people who can serve and add value to others. That's what you want to think every day you wake up. How many people I can serve today? How many people I can add value to today? Whether you can do that in your job, in your day-to-day job, in your community, in your home, anywhere you go. Just be authentic and have this genuine be genuine of how you're serving. It's not, you're not waiting for something to get back to you or to gain something. You're truly genuinely want to add value to others.
Wow, incredible. I mean, the last about 1 hour now, has been, mind-blowing. From her, giving us a powerful lecture to her, just answering what I call critical questions, for getting into, and it's not just, I always say something. The creator, or God, is not happy just having you live your life, but I believe is more happy when there is a seed, when you as a seed are bearing fruit. And that's what she's talking about, not just living, but it's not just taking a walk. There was a quote you talked about, when you are leading and you're not leading anyone, you're just taking a walk. You're not just taking a walk. You want to lead, not just in deed, but in truth, in accurate value. That's what leadership is. And as I call him my principal, John Maxwell always say, leadership starts with you.
Yes.
The word self-leadership, it's super important. So yes, I mean, thank you so much, Pakinam Fawal, for this amazing time of I call it a lecture for life. And of course, this is going to be caught into some sound bites, some what is called knowledge capsule for some people, just to listen to 1 minute of your speech and get it and get some insight of how to get things done practically. Yes, that is what the global influence conversation is all about. You are our inaugural speaker, we can say inaugural lecturer, because I mean we're talking about Credential, which is talking about education. So yeah, we can call you our lecturer for tonight. So yes, thank you so much. And of course, for everyone joining, we have tens of people joining in from YouTube. it really seems like, they are far from us, but no, they are not. They are not. They can hear us. They can, hear every bit of the word you're saying. I believe they are also jotting. If you check the comment section, you will be seeing, I was, seeing some comments that they were responding. And so, yes, that is what the global influence conversation is all about. And of course, as you know, this is the maiden edition. And to come as the theory, I mean, 2 editions, before this year round up, one in October, one in November, and of course, in December. Listen to this, everyone. Last year, the very first event, the Intellect Quest company, powered was the Ray Summit. And the Ray Summit was, is an event. It's a, more like a seminar, to bring thought leaders just like this, together. I think we have about 7 different people, from different parts of the world, speaking to us at the last year. It was December 28th, 2024, and January 1st, 2025. So yes, it's a 2-day event, one before the year runs up and one, on the first day of the year. So right now, you should already start marking your calendar to be at the Race Summit 2025, happening on the 29th of December 2025, and on the 1st of January 2026. Last year, was about, transforming your ideas into action. We forged into 2025 last year, and this year, guess what? The title is going to be. If you want to hear that, could you please, put it into the comment section, so I know, yes, you really want to hear. Yes, to tell us this year's title. Yes, I can see it in the chat. This year's title is going to be Behind 2026. And to explain that, what is behind 2026, how we got here. There are many influencers, the lineups of speakers I already have, about 5 speakers, just about to start engaging them. They are top guys, around the world. You see them where they are now, and you'll be like, wow, they've done, so much. How did they get here? In fact, some of them, you thought they stumbled on the position they are now, but no, there is a way they got into that space. And that's what we'll be discovering at the Ray Summit, behind 2026. What got them to where they are. You want to know what got those big influencers, to where they are today, then join the IQ community. I believe the technical team should have been dropping the link in the chat box, so you could join. Yes. So yes, as we round up, Pakinam Fawal, I want to ask you, to tell us, just give us your final word, probably something you've been keeping, or that quote, or that recommendation that is very dear to your heart, or that advice you've gotten from, someone you respect so much, that is in your heart, just give it to us. I mean, over to you.
I say trust yourself. Trust yourself. Challenge any limiting beliefs that you might have. You are enough. You are enough. Believe in yourself. If you see yourself as a 10, you will invest yourself 10 out of 10. Believe in yourself.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh, wow. This is so amazing. Believe in yourself, trust yourself. It's just, about trusting yourself. She had said it all. And ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of Glofluence, the conversation, the very first edition, and it's a sale, that is going to be moving forward. Pakinam Fawal, it was great, really having you in here to start and inaugurate this idea that will become that is very practical and that will revolutionize the world. I mean, you want to be part of this every time. The idea for this is that we'll bring in the top leaders of the world into this room. The next 5 years, you want to really keep joining in this, and you see how much it will grow. Yes, there is that commitment, there is that energy, and a lot of work we are going to put into it to make this keep happening. And of course, Pakinam Fawal, I believe you had a great time sharing with us, with leaders across the world. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, as we round up the Glofluence, this first edition, I want you to keep all of the things you've learned. Know that yes, you should have credentials. Also, develop your potentials. Your potentials are what belongs to you. The credentials are what opens door for you. And as you said, potential, credential opens the door for you, and potential is what sustains it. Yes, credential opens the door, potential sustain it. So yes, do well, get into the room. You would get the link for joining the community very soon, and of course you would also get it in your email and all of that. So yes, please do well to join in the IQ community, and as we keep this conversation forward. Thank you everyone for joining in. Have a great and amazing year round up. Have a good time, and see you in the next edition of the Global Influence Conversation. Peace out.
Thank you, Adura. Thank you everyone for joining.